Welcome to the third episode in our Multimeter series. This series is intended for beginners who want to get to know their device a little bit better. However, since it is based on the articles written by Mr. Piotr Górecki, even experienced users might learn something new. In this episode, we continue exploring the multimeter functions, the additional functions, such as hold, min, max, average, the relative or the delta, and also a multimeter with a built-in oscilloscope. In the last episode, we ended up with a quick look at this multimeter from Owen with a built-in oscilloscope. Well, actually it's a handheld oscilloscope with a built-in multimeter. Now, it's not something that I personally recommend as a beginner's first tool, but as Mr. Górecki says, if someone has the money and likes gadgets, let them buy it. If you are looking for a desktop oscilloscope like this one from BK Precision, check out our website tme.eu, and not just oscilloscope, we have got much more. At TME, you'll find everything you need for your next project. Genuine, freshly stocked components from trusted brands all over the world, and the best thing is that 96% of the orders are shipped at the same day. So don't leave your project gathering dust on the workbench. Your TME box is already on the move. Before we move on, it's worth mentioning that every tool has its purpose. This O1 scope is probably best suited for field works like HVAC diagnostics, solar installations, or repair tasks where you might want to inject or measure a signal, like the ones that is produced by a signal square wave generator. Now, as a kid, I remember having, or maybe a teenager, I remember having this kind of multimeter which has this mysterious square wave signal symbol on the dial, and I have never used it, but it turns out that it could be quite useful. The square wave generator can be used for quick tests, for example, checking an amplifier, testing logic gates, or tracing signal paths. Some even use it to calibrate frequency counters or PWM readers. But for more, serious works, it's better to get yourself a proper digital signal generator, which we also have at tme.eu. At tme. Nah, I'm kidding. We already did the sponsors. We are the sponsors. We are sponsoring ourselves. What a wonderful world. The non-contact voltage feature is becoming increasingly common in modern digital multimeters like this one from Unity. The NCV uses a built-in electric field sensor to detect AC voltages without a contact. The closer you get to the live wire, the stronger the detected field and the more lines you see on the display. Some multimeters go even further. They can even distinguish between the live and the neutral wire when you insert a probe into the socket. You can also find where is the wire in the wall before making a hole in it, which is very useful. However, as Mr. Górecki warns, these electric field sensors can be capricious. Before using the NCV function, you should thoroughly read the multimeter's user manual and test the features carefully. Yes, sometimes you do need to read the manual, but it's worth it, especially when it comes to the soft functions on the multimeter. These functions that we can see here, for example, they don't measure anything by themselves, they assist you with your measurements. The hold function, for example, freezes the current reading on the display even after you disconnect the probes. Some multimeters require you to first take the measurement, then press hold. Others allow you to activate the hold function in advance and then automatically freeze the next stable reading, or the value. This is especially handy when measuring something in a hard-to-see spot or when you want to write down the measurement you are taking. Next to hold, you'll find the min-max or the min-max average function. Once activated, the multimeter starts recording values and you can cycle through the results by pressing the button a few times. This tracks the lowest reading, the highest readings, and for some multimeters also the average value. It's useful when checking the stability of a power supply or voltage dips and surges, for example, when you are turning on a motor. The final function that we have here for this episode is the delta, also known as the relative mode. Delta mode measures how much a value deviates from a reference point. It's great for comparing two nearly identical values or eliminating baseline offsets for more precise readings. For example, you can set a 1.2 volt for nickel metal hydride battery as your reference and check how far the cells deviate from that. You can also use it to zero out the resistance of your test leads. Just short the probes together and press delta. And now any reading will exclude the test lead resistance, giving you a more accurate low resistance measurement. And that's it for this episode. We have now covered most of the essential multimeter functions, but of course with so many models and the new features are appearing every day on those multimeters and we cannot cover everything here. But if you are curious about functions that we have never covered, let us know in the comments, like, subscribe or whatever. In the next episode we will be talking about the multimeter accessories, what is AC or DC, what is a true RMS, accuracy, and any questions that beginners often ask. Bye bye.